What about you, Heather? What are your keys to success as you look back now?
I love how it's a common thread that we're all talking about relationships. And I think that's really an important thing to note. Um, as our company has grown and our reach has grown throughout the state, keeping those relationships organized has been a challenge, especially when they would call and they wouldn't always get me. Sometimes they would get some of my employees and something would be discussed and then they'd call back and get somebody else. So we invested in Salesforce, and that has been absolutely amazing. Every time we pick up the phone, we have it in front of us. We're able to log in the details of that call. So when they call in again, or whoever answers the phone can see what that conversation has been, hear what the concerns of that customer has been, and be on the same page. It's also been great because we've been able to go back through and see, oh, this person told us that they were planning to attend Kirov this summer, or this person said that they were heading off to college and wouldn't be dancing anymore. And instead of looking at where our sales numbers had been based on a product, we were able to say, oh, I know I sold 6 of those shoes last month, but that was because she was doing this competition and now that's not happening. So we were really able to take the data that we had been recording in this very organized way and plan our inventory accordingly and make sure that we weren't overstocked on things that we normally would have stocked up on. So that's really been helpful. And if you don't have a customer data retention software of some sort, I highly recommend looking at investing in something, whether that be Salesforce or another program.
Thank you. Emily, what about you?
Again, the common thread that Heather mentioned, it's just, it's true. I call it customer connection. Customers that are important to us. I mean, we wouldn't be here without them. They look to us for advice, expertise, knowledge, all the things. They trust us, they love us, and we want to continue fostering those relationships with them. Just like the other ladies said, I have, friends who are customers, they text me, they reach out to me via email, whatever, always be available. But one thing I have had to try to do is kind of make sure that I don't respond to things at midnight, because a lot of times people will text at midnight. So you do have to kind of, follow that. But another thing that I worked really hard on while we were closed and always have and will continue to do so is connecting with studio owners and key dance teachers in my market. They're just as important as our customers, like the direct dancers. One thing I did while we were closed is we have like $5 gift cards that we use promotionally for different events. I offered those $5 gift cards to all of our studio owners for them to use as prizes, because at that, while we were closed, they were all trying to get their kids to dance at home virtually and all the things. And they were doing like, get points and get prizes and whatnot. And so I offered all kinds of freebies to our studio owners for them to use, because they were looking, just like we were looking for things to stay engaged, they were too. And I feel like those are, I've gotten those returned, and the studios more than ever have been helpful at sending business my way and ordering bulk things, not online anymore, ordering from me. And most of them have always done that, but I've gotten more traction, I think, for group orders. One thing I did do right before we closed, that time of year in Texas in March is kind of when the new high school drill teams and dance teams are being formed and auditions for them, and they work on their team orders. I reached out to every single high school in my area. Some have worked with me and have even during COVID, but some have not. They've gone online to save money or whatever, even though I can do the same prices and better service. But anyway, I reached out to them and I said, hey, look, I really need your support more than ever. I'm your neighbor. I'm your friend. I want to help your dancers. I already help them on an individual basis. Let me help you and your team. Every single drill team director that I contacted said yes. And I got bulk orders from them. And that cash injection, when we were able to reopen in May, is what pulled me through. And I really feel like the customer connections that I've fostered for years and will continue to do so, that's helping me now. Like, I ran numbers yesterday just because I was curious. I'm not comparing anything to 2020. I'm comparing my current March to 2019, and I'm actually 20% over the entire month of March versus 2019 to this month for 2021. A 20% growth is, during Corona, or COVID, it's phenomenal. I'm like so excited and thrilled, and it's showing those customer connections, that they're solid and they're growing, and I wouldn't be where I am without my customers. And we all know that, and we all foster that, and that's important.
Yes. Kristen, I know you've already talked about this a bit, and I identified those relationships as one of your keys to success, but just curious if there are any others that you found really pulled you through.
So I took a very large risk this year. Last year in October, I sold my house, and I took some of the profit from that, and I decided to move the store. So commercial real estate is very low right now, and it's typically very unaffordable where we are in Connecticut. So I've been trying to move for years. So I saw this opportunity to get a much larger space for, pretty comparable rent. I got a space that's 75% bigger for 25% more rent, which I thought was amazing. So I took my own money and I put that into the build out, and it was a do-it-yourself project. So my father and I did it with the help of a couple guys, and I kind of, back to the relationship thing, I took everybody along with me on Instagram, and I was sharing videos, and I let them believe that they were helping me pick finishes out. And I think they really got a kick out of seeing me lay flooring and use a chop saw, and seeing my dad and all that. So by the time we reopened, people were just chomping at the bit to get in there. Like, there was so much retail excitement built up. And February and March were both record-breaking months for us. And February, we were actually closed for 10 days because of the move. And I was up 26% over, actually it was 2020. We had a record-breaking February right before everything went down. So I think I was up 26% from that best February. And March, we're up 20% from our best March, which was 2019. So I realize that's not accessible to everybody to do that, but I think a new paint job, change the floor plan, stuff like that, just to build that excitement and have some freshness and newness. And like Ashley said, I brought in, I think, 5 new lines over the last 2 months. And when we moved, I donated enough merchandise to make me sick to my stomach. But I think getting all that old stuff out and just bringing new energy and new stuff into the store is really key to keeping things going. So so far so good. I hope it's not a honeymoon period, but I think we're on to really good things with this new space. So
Yeah, I definitely think there's some lessons there, even if other folks can't, move into a new, bigger store. The idea of bringing fresh energy, excitement to the space, and not only doing that, but bringing customers along with you in the process and making them feel a part of it. So I'll ask this to anyone who wants to answer. I'm curious, and Kristen, you sort of have a very clear answer to this question, but for other folks, is there anything that you started doing differently because of the pandemic that now has become like a core part of your business, or something that you see, something that you're going to do for the long haul? Anyone, feel free to jump in.
I'll jump in. When we were closed, I mentioned earlier how we, revamped our website and added more product to it. We also created curbside pickup. That will be here forever. Our parents love it. They just click, instead of shipping, they just click on our website. curbside, we have a sandwich board sign out front with our phone number, so they don't have to go look for their email and find the phone number or Google it or whatever. The feedback has been outstanding. They would much rather buy local. If they're shopping online and they can pick up locally, they would much rather do that than go on Amazon or Discount Dance or whatever. And I would much rather them do that too. But that is one thing that will be here forever, that we brought in. I've also really tried to be very mindful of inventory and adding new things at key times. And we've also made sure that we re-merchandise more frequently. I think one of the ladies mentioned, leotards that were 5 months old or whatever. Our customers don't always realize the age of the inventory. You just repackage it, remarket it. We do that all the time, starting during COVID. Easter basket items. We had a lot of recital items that we had already received. There were no recitals. So we strategically rebranded or remarketed those items for Easter basket items. We had, like stocking stuffer items, it's something that we have in our little granny grabber, little kind of fun sections, but you just market those on social media and in your e-newsletter or even at point of sale, that it's a great Easter basket item or stocking stuffer or recital gift. You can use the same products and just kind of tweak your descriptions or how you're selling them or packaging them. That's another thing that we've been better at, I feel like.
Yeah.
We started doing a lot of fitting boxes for people. As all of you know, I'm sure dance shoes do not run anywhere true to street shoe size, which is actually great for brick and mortar retailers because they order online, it doesn't fit, and they end up coming back to you. So we started putting together a fitting box where they would tell us their street shoe, and instead of sending them the one shoe, we would send them 5 shoes all around that size and different styles, and a paid label to send them back. And while the shipping cost does definitely eat into profit, it also creates a customer who is loyal to you and knows their size in that shoe going forward and will come back to you. So that's something that we're definitely going to keep, and it's helped us keep our reach outside of just our local little region here. One of the challenges of that was, we considered what happens when they don't return the shoe. Keeping someone's credit card on file can be a cybersecurity issue. And we were able to find an app that integrates with our Shopify system that's really great called Recharge. And so a customer puts their credit card information in there and it's never actually in our hands. So if we ever don't get those shoes back, we're able to go ahead and charge them for the total of what they have instead of just what they've kept. But that's actually never happened. Every single customer has always tried on their shoes, kept the one that works, sent back the rest. And it's worked out really well for us. I think we'll definitely keep that.
It's clever. I like that.
I actually invested in the Retail Sales Academy with Whizbang, and I had all of my employees go through the program, and holy cow, we're up. We don't have as many customers, or we didn't have as many customers, but we were up about 15% per sale. So it's affordable. You could do it in just a couple months. And when we were all done with it, I canceled it, and I will definitely go back and refresh when I feel like our skills are getting a little bit rusty. But I think any kind of sales training is really helpful. So we were able to really up each interaction with customers. So that made a big difference in our bottom line.
I was just going to say that I don't know why I didn't do it before, but with virtual fittings, I much prefer to have someone obviously in front of me. But what I have done, because I work with a lot of, a good amount of dancers that drive a decent, 1 to 3 hours for point shoe fittings. And so sometimes, in between those fittings, they might have questions about their shoes or something's going on. And I have started doing FaceTimes with them to look at what's happening with their shoes along the way. I've also started working with doing custom orders custom shoes through Nikolai more, which is super fun, stressful personally, as I'm like figuring it all out. I'm so nervous I'm going to order this shoe that isn't going to work. But it's been really neat to be able to provide that customization. And to then sometimes, like, I have a girl who's about an hour and a half away, that when her customs come in, she dances 7 days a week in a ballet company. So I have to mail her shoes, and then we do virtual fit. Like, we look at everything virtually. So that's definitely something that I have been talking to more people after each fitting. You know, hey, if we're switching to a new shoe, if you're having any issues along the way, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, let me know. We'll get on FaceTime. I'm happy to look at anything for you to see if we can tweak whatever needs to be tweaked without them having to come back if they don't have to, if it's something we can fix that way. So I'll definitely continue that.
Yeah, that's smart. All right, we just have a few minutes left. We have a question in the chat about getting in touch with dance schools, with dance studios when they are hard to get in touch with, and building those connections. Emily, that sounded like something you were hitting on earlier. I wonder if you, in just like 2 minutes, could share a few of the ideas that you use to get in touch with those folks.
Sure. I think we all have dance schools who are hard to reach, and don't give up. Keep reaching out to them. I've gotten creative. Recitals hopefully are in your market or your area or around the corner. It's a great time to maybe do like recital care package for them, like backstage bobby pins, hair nets, extra tights, things like that, that you can make the studio owner a toolkit and leave your business card, follow up after recital. I've taken cake, like celebrating after the recital for my longtime studios, because they don't need me to romance them prior to, but I want to thank them after the recitals. Just a celebratory thing, a bottle of champagne, if you're comfortable with that, a handwritten note, and a personal visit to deliver those things will really help get your foot in the door, I feel like. And a lot of times they'll even do a little story or Instagram thanking you, and you can do one tagging them saying, hey, I'm personally delivering, it's recital week for Jane's Dance Center, and I'm here to deliver them a good luck package, and can't wait to see the dancers shine on stage, things like that. For me, those kind of personal things, to some people they may sound hokey, but they really, really are appreciated, I feel like, and it's really helped my relationships with my studios.
Definitely. Thank you for those ideas. I think we will end on that note. Thank you so much, Emily, Heather, Kristen, and Ashley. We so appreciate your expertise and your experiences. So that brings us to the end of session 1.